Short-term news does not matter.
Give me some.
So we're going to talk about a couple of inflation, Rivian, Bitcoin at 100,000, infrastructure bill, Moderna, riot.
Troy, Rashad, you want to start? I've been talking over you. I got to at least give you a mic time.
Troy, you start this whole situation. Let's talk about inflation first, if we can.
Go.
I just want to just give a word of caution for inflation because I feel like one thing is that there's new people that watch Market Mondays every single week. So I always want to just, kind of double back on some things. The biggest reason why you must invest is because inflation is the biggest threat to your wealth because your money gets devalued over the course of time. Currency gets devalued no matter what currency it is. The American dollar gets weaker and weaker every single year. So that is due to inflation. Inflation averages around 3% a year. So if you know that inflation is going to average 3% a year and you're only earning 0.25% in your bank account, then you're losing 2.75% every single year. So this is extremely important why you must invest. That's the first and foremost thing. Now, we have to be extremely even more cautious because there's so much money being pumped into the economy now. So with that, the purpose of pumping money into the economy is to actually make sure that the economy is still doing well. But the problem with that is that you're devaluing the money even more. So now we have, massive inflation that could come. And, it's one of these doomsday scenarios. You see countries, in, what they call third world, where they have, $100,000 for a loaf of bread. And, I've been to Asia where, a cab ride costs $200,000. I've seen $100,000 bills and $200,000.
Y'all really get money over there, EYL.
But the $200,000,
I know.
The $200,000 bill is worth like $10. So it's like, this is something that obviously I'm not saying that's going to happen to America tomorrow, but this is a political conversation. And at some point, we're going to have actually start speaking to politicians on the show as well, because the decisions that the politicians are making, we're going to have to live with. So it's important to be politically informed, and it's also important to vote. But more important than voting is extremely important. More important than voting is lobbying, because the lobbyists actually control the politicians. So when we have a real, political conversation, at some point, we're going to have Super PAC. EYL Super PAC.
You ever heard of it? Yeah, no, tell them what a lobbyist is. Like, a lot of people get lost in that jargon.
A lobbyist is pretty much somebody whose job is to, go to Capitol Hill and persuade, senators and congressmen to do what they want to do. So like every industry has a lobby. So like the insurance industry has a lobby, the dairy industry has a lobby, the gun industry, obviously they have an extremely strong lobby. So this is why it's like, these people support the politicians' campaigns and they put money in their pockets, right? So it's like, all right, if they're supporting their campaigns, the reason why they're winning the elections is because they have enough money to actually fund the election. Yeah. So it's like, all right, if I give you $10 million to run, and you're a congressman in Oklahoma, on the back end, if my lobby is, the cheese industry, I'm going to make sure that we don't pass any laws that's going to, hurt the dairy industry, right? Yeah. So all of these different things. And I feel like for Black people, we don't really think too much into it. We just go out and vote blindly.
And then you get taken advantage of. I'm Black. Yeah. You can tell, right? So, and I'm not talking down to us, but if we do not vote in a group, and everyone's been saying this for 50 years, but if we don't make a politician do what we want after we vote for them, you've already gave them the sex. How are you going to negotiate with me after? So same with Biden. Biden said everything he had to, right? The day after, oh my God, he's talking down to church folk and church leaders like crazy. Why? Because you don't have your agreements together. Once again, check your paperwork, fam. You got to see what Kamala gonna do for you before she get in.
Kamala.
Right. you got to see what Joe gonna do for you. And there's other politicians that have not delivered on their promise. So if we continue to move forward with this, I think at some point we should have enough impact to be able to put a president.
Super PAC. We're gonna speak into fruition.
Even overseas.
Even overseas.
We may be able to affect the politics of.
You never know.
You never know.
We got 8,000.
Shout
out
to
8,000's in here.
Shout out to 8,000 people.
The AK team is here. Bring my AKs out.
Shout out to 8,000 people.
I love y'all
on YouTube. We're gonna do something. Yeah, we're gonna do something on our end too. We'll do it at the end of the show.
Yeah, I'll just real quick on the short-term news, not mattering. We've been, I don't know how many ways we can say this, right? If we're investing long-term, we're not only looking at news as a barrier of information, we're looking at fundamentals and we're looking at technicals before we invest in anything personally, right?
Yep.
News changes every day. We know that.
Matter.
It's like it's fluff at a certain point because we know that, again, it could be coming from a source that has a lobbyist interest. There's all types of reasons why that people will print an article, or even like I was just reading the NVIDIA deal with ARM. I'm like, yo, that was great news 20 months ago. Now they're like, yeah, we're not doing a deal. So what's the role that it plays in it? Yeah, it ran the stock up perhaps, but now it doesn't even matter because the deal's not going to get done potentially. Yeah. So grain of salt is something that you should pay attention to. Obviously, I read the news because I want to be informed, and I want you, because I know sometimes people miss things. I'm like, all right, well, this is another piece you can add. Do your technical research, do your fundamental research, add it to it, but it's not the main factor.
I'm gonna be real. Day to day, none of that. Like if I can, like Rivian, Lucian, Hertz, Doge, AMC, Shiba Inu, Saitama, everything that comes and goes. Like please put yes in chat if any news this year outside of us made you $100,000 or more. Does not happen in the grand scheme. And I know a lot of you like, what do I learn? You have to learn to buy at the deepest dips possible in the market. There's only a couple of areas that really matter in Bitcoin. 40,000 is one of them. 28,000, another area I call. Everything in between. And this is what's happening. That's why I told you. Jack, Elon, Bezos. Then they're going to tell you Microsoft CEO sold half of his shares of Microsoft because of tax reasons. If he ran it up for me in Red Panda like that, the company would pay for his taxes. They're selling at record highs because they're worried about what's going to happen next year while retail traders jump in and we get used for liquidity. Why is nobody on the message boards telling you guys to stop hodling? Right? Don't be used. The news often is an illusion to get retail traders to be the liquidity for the big fish and the whales in the market. Please be mindful of that as you make your moves this week.
I mean, what you just said was the cryptocurrency space in 2017. Like legit. Like we had news that would come out. You go in these like white pages and you read about it. You go on Coinbase and like you would invest, and then you'd wake up and the position would be dropped down by like 80%. And we're like, oh, these are whales. That's what whales are. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Shout out to all the whales out there. But let me just say something, because I know we got a lot of people that watch Market Mondays. I want to make a public statement now. We need to I don't know if Troy wants to. I want to speak to the mayor of New York City. The new mayor of New York City is very important. We have become staples in New York, and we have some ideas for the city. I feel like the city is in a dark spot right now. It is tremendous regulation, government red tape, and it has
lost its luster.
Yes, it has.
I can't get 500 square feet in a hotel unless I bribe somebody in the meat pack. Like, what are you? What are you doing? Like, or if you don't, Mayor, I love you. Congrats on your win. I will take them directly to the mayor's office in Houston. Because if not, Miami's gonna put y'all out of business.
Yes.
Yo.
So EYL needs a meeting with the new mayor,
Eric Adams.
Honorable. Yes, we definitely. Well, I just got a text. Got to make it happen.
That was fast.
At the power market.
God damn. You don't know what I know.
You really don't. You really don't. So yes,
while we're at it, Kanye West,
Obama. What we doing? Call me right over to Hyde Park. Got a couple ideas.
There's this thing going on in Thursday in LA that the UIL fellows might be attending Kanye.
Yeah, I mean, being real, this is not ego. And that's why I said, if I was white, I could run for president right now. If I take this platform and we take Market Mondays to a presidential candidate and they actually help people make money, you don't think there'll be a shoe in the wind doing a fucking crash? I keep asking y'all, Who better? I want to know so I can go study. You think I'm doing it because of the ego and for Brandon? Biggest lesson I learned. Man, I can't wait to go off grid in 2022. Oh, y'all gonna see me on here nowhere else. What Ian in his little cubby hole. Time to hunker down. These next 2 years will produce billionaires if you lock in. And then this way, I get to get on Rashad's nerve a lot less for my little rants. Shout out to Rants and Gems. Matt, I love you.
Ian, we just got 4 texts about meeting the mayor of New York City. You got.
I got the plan for you. What you want? See, manifestation.
You got to ask for what you want. Done. You got to ask for what you want in life. That is a fact.
Gonna get done.
The power
Market Mondays, perhaps.
Market Mondays. Power of Market Mondays. Okay. Before we go to question and answers, let's just ask this. So Craig Wright, that's the guy who claimed to be the inventor of Bitcoin.
We spoke about this 3 weeks ago, right? Remember this?
Mm-hmm.
He was told by a jury on Monday to pay $100 million in damages over claims that he cheated a deceased friend over intellectual property for cryptocurrency. So, okay, let's get into this.
This is interesting.
CSI Miami. What's up?
You did one last year when you called a thing out about the president. And
that was legend. That was
legendary. So go ahead and make another call.
So is he?
Hold on.
Is he Satoshi or not?
Why do you guys be
that's
like,
what we want to know.
I need to do my research, and you need to know everything about my background to make a stock, but you're going to invest your money with a fake Asian with a coin that you can't immediately act. Are y'all crazy? Go Google. I'll put my theory, who I think behind it. If I'm wrong, I'll say it. But go to anyone who is native of any country and ask them, is there any correlation in those names that makes sense? They will tell you, hell no. Once again, I'm going to tell you, while our American dollar is falling, while they get us to love other currencies more than our own, and I'm not saying you got to be a patriot for just because, but if you love other currencies more than you do our own, you do realize between that and electronic vehicles, you are leading to the death of the dollar. Because now if you come off the oil stat and you say I'm a conspiracy theorist, okay. Yes, the dollar's been going down for a while, but you're betting for short-term gains, not looking when they pull this rug from underneath you. What's going to happen? Please be mindful. These gains these last 2 years have been incredible. I keep telling you, they're letting us get these incredible gains because of what's to come. Do I think Craig is the true Satoshi? I don't think so, but I've always been told that he was a founding member of that group that has something to do with it.
So Craig Wright and I think, what's the gentleman's name? David Kleiman, together perhaps could have been Satoshi. And the suit was over who invented it. And I guess because he won the suit, he doesn't have to pay. I think on the line was like 104 million Bitcoins or some crazy number. I think the equivalent in cash would have been like $54 billion. And so now he doesn't have to pay that because I guess he has intellectual property or evidence that he was part of this founding group of people that created Bitcoin, which is in itself is like crazy. I always heard that it was invented in Florida. So, I mean.
So no, it was not a decentralized platform in which, man, that shit sound like a fairy tale. A magical motherfucker came from a mountain in Japan that came down a creek. Dog. It's so easy to deceive people now. They don't even try to make a good story anymore. And it got distributed via email, then turned into a white paper. And that was what? The new tablet sent by God. Like
the magical white paper.
Okay.
The Bitmanments.
Okay.
The Bitmanments. Great marketing. Great marketing. Speaking of
one of
marketing,
the greatest marketing jobs of all time.
Speaking of marketing, right? In the competitive world of advertising marketers, everyone's looking for an edge. I want to let you in on the best kept secret in marketing. Direct mail reinvented for the digital world by Posty. Posty was transformed direct mail by adding all digital marketing capabilities found in channels like Facebook, Google, and YouTube. Posty allows you to run direct mail like digital marketer. It's a platform, a one-step shop that does it all for you. So you can build your audience, set up campaigns with A/B tests, approve creatives, and track results in real time. Think of it as a direct mail easy button. Posty integrates with CRM, accesses data, sets up, and builds lookalike models from over 250 million U.S. customers. With Posty, you can narrow in on your target audience and reach customers that you don't find through other channels. Diversify your marketing and stand out with the direct mail from Posty. So hurry and get a free Posty demo today by visiting posty.com/Market Mondays. That's posty.com/Market Mondays for a free Posty demo. Shout out to Posty. They are sponsoring.
I actually use the Posty.
Yeah, they are sponsoring this week's earnings report. You're gonna laugh when I tell you the earnings.
What's the earnings report?
So we got earnings. A couple of companies. We know that Costco is going to be reporting on Thursday, as well as Chewy.
Chewy. Chewy. Shout out to Fresh.
Chewy garbage.
Shout out to Fresh and Fit.
Yo, Ian, wait till I tell you the backstory on this Chewy thing.
Chewy.
Two companies.
That's legend. That's legendary.
Two companies that we've mentioned on Market Mondays before.
There's a backstory behind that.
An amazing backstory. You're gonna love it. We'll tell you.
I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. We can't do that on live. Not live. Shout out to our Fresh and Fred crew though.
Yes.
Shout out to the guys. Chewy, do not invest long term. Garbage. I love you guys as a company. The stock, don't touch.
Or maybe not.
Charge point, garbage. When
we tell you the story, maybe not bad long term, but we'll tell you the story. All right, so that was our earnings report. Shout out to Posty.
Shout out to Posty.
Rashad, what you like to drink? Because I owe you 19 bottles.
Rose.
Yeah.
Moet Rose.
I owe you 19 bottles for all the headaches I've been causing.
I appreciate
that. You can send them to my address.
Hey, y'all see he didn't say no? He's like, I don't know what Ian gonna say. I feel like I'm Cat Williams when he starts to go off the rails. I'm good. It's actually just pineapple juice. Like, I don't know what he's gonna do. We did not talk about this pre-pod. What? Oh, Heavenly Father, let's not ruin this.
We're gonna need an additional 5 bottles of Ciroc. Shout out to the Ciroc team, Sean Combs Enterprises, because every headache that he gets, I become the sponge for the headache. I have to hear.
Of course.
Yeah.
Big headache. There's some headache that come with these games. Hey,
we appreciate you wholeheartedly.
I appreciate you. And then it'd be the voice notes.
Yo, y'all two going back on voice note is ridiculous. It's the funniest thing.
The voice notes is legendary.
I was thinking, bro.
You got your diplomat game. I'm like, no, come in and tear all this shit up. You like, listen, brother, we got to do better. What's your feedback? I'm like, all right, I'm a chill.
I'm on my Sean Carter, I'm on my Sean Carter diplomatic, just very, very diplomatic.
Yeah, I'm a fade to black for real next year. I'm gonna be real quiet. Market Mondays pop in, pop out.